Shalom, shalom, everybody. It's your brother got cold, aka Woodrow, aka James. Whatever is clever, long as it's lawful, and not nothing crazy. This is one we gonna call health is above wealth. People always say health is wealth. Health is above wealth. We gonna show it with these verses. This is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 30. We're going to start at verse 15. Health and a good estate of body are above all goals, and a strong body above infinite wealth. There is no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart. Death is better than a bitter life of continual sickness. Delicacies poured upon a mouth shut up are as messes of meat set upon a grave. What good doth the offering to an idol? What good doeth the offering unto an idol? For neither can it eat nor smell. So is he that is persecuted of Yah. Good News Translation. It is better to be poor but strong and healthy than to be a rich man but in poor health. A sound, healthy body and a cheerful attitude, peace of mind, are more valuable than gold and jewels. Nothing can make you richer or give you greater happiness than those two things. It would be better to be dead, asleep forever, than to live in misery of chronic illness. The finest food means nothing if you are too sick to eat it. It might as well be offered to an idol, or Greeks say placed on a grave. But there is no point in offering food to an idol. It can't eat it or smell it. It is just the same with someone who Yah has afflicted. He looks at his food and sighs like a castrated man hugging a young woman. Now, castrate is a verb, past tense castrated. Remove the testicles of a male animal or man. Or it could mean to deprive of power, vitality, or vigor. So in that case, they're talking about, like they call it eunuch. So a person who their stuff, sexual organs don't function properly. So he hugging a woman, and of course he want to go to the next step, but he know his stuff won't permit him. So just as the feeling that he feel, knowing that he can't rock and roll, is the same feeling that somebody feel with their food, that they too sick to eat it. They got all this good food, all this expensive food, stuff they probably take their pictures and post up on the gram, but they can't even eat it because they're too sick. This is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 41, verses 1 through 4. O death, how bitter is the remembrance of thee to a man that liveth at rest in his possessions, unto the man that hath nothing to vex him, and that hath prosperity in all things, yea, unto him that is yet able to receive meat. Go back to the same thing. O death, acceptable is thy sentence unto the needy, and to him whose strength faileth, that is now at the last age, and is vexed with all things. And this can go one or two ways. Like they say in the last age, like he's elderly, but I'm also thinking about this last age, these days and times that we in, and vexed with all things, vexed with all the foolishness that we had to see day in and day out, and that I'm not even gonna speak on none of it because my Lord, man, we just not gonna talk about it. But there's enough brothers that's out here that are talking about it. Shout out to them brothers, man. Y'all keep blowing the trumpet, and we blowing the trumpet in our own way too. But I was just saying that relates, like, man, all this foolishness that we see here day in and day out, stuff that we know even in my younger days, like some of this stuff never would have flown, and now it's just flying with nobody's contesting it even. Nobody's saying nothing about it. I mean, I'll say one thing: how in the world are y'all letting, not y'all, but are people letting people, men, what's it called, compete against ladies in these sports, man? It's like, especially the MMA type of sports, where as though they fighting them and stuff like that. Like any other situation, they say a girl not supposed to hit a boy not supposed to hit a girl, but they doing it in these sports and they sanctioning it. These women getting their skulls cracked and fractured and stuff like that, and nobody's saying anything. Nobody's batting an eye. You know, like I just don't understand it. That's just one thing of many. But let's continue on with the verses for real. This is see, This is verse 3. Um, Fear not the sentence of death. Remember them that have been before thee, and that have come after. For this is the sentence of Yah over all flesh. And why art thou against the pleasure of the Most High? There is no inquisition in the grave, whether thou have lived 10 or 100 or 1,000 years. Good News Translation. No, we're going to go to actually the Common English Bible for this one. How bitter death is the thought of you to those who are at peace amongst their possessions, to those who aren't anxiously distracted, who prosper at everything. So death is bitter for somebody who everything going good for. They they be like, oh, he's gone before his time, gone too soon. He had everything going for him, and still had the strength to enjoy good food. This is verse 2. Your sentence looks good, death, to a person who is needy and lacks strength, and who is extremely old and anxious about everything, and who is not compliant. We talked about that. And whose endurance has failed. Don't fear death's judgment. Remember those who came before you and those who will come after you. This is Yah's judgment for all human beings. Why should you reject the good pleasure of the Most High? Whether 10 or 100 or 1,000 years, there is no arguing about life in the grave. This is Ecclesiastes that's in the King James Bible, not Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. My Bible looking rough, but that means it's been read. But they said a Bible that's falling apart usually belongs to a man or a woman whose life is together, not falling apart. So let's pray that's the case with this brother that y'all sitting here fellowshipping with right about now. Ecclesiastes 8:8. There is no man that have power over the spirit to retain the spirit, neither have he power in the day of death, and there is no discharge in that war. Neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. New Living Translation. None of us can hold back our spirit from departing. None of us has the power to prevent the day of our death. There is no escaping that obligation, that dark battle, and in the face of death, wickedness will certainly not rescue the wicked. This is Proverbs 11:4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. If you're righteous, you might get a little bit more time. Amplified Bible. Riches will not provide security in the day of wrath and judgment, but righteousness rescues from death. Proverbs 10:2. Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivereth from death. Contemporary English Version. What you gain by doing evil won't help at all. Obeying Elohim is the only way to be saved from death. Sirach Ecclesiasticus 40:12. All bribery and injustice shall be blotted out, but true dealing shall endure forever. Good News Translation. Nothing that comes from bribery or injustice will last, but the effects of loyalty will remain forever. Wealth that has been obtained dishonestly is like a stream that runs full during a thunderstorm, tumbling rocks along as it flows, but then it suddenly goes dry. The children of ungodly people will not leave large families. They are like plants trying to take root on rock, like reeds along a riverbank, withering before any other plant. Acts of kindness and charity are as lasting as eternity. Greek, kindness is a blessed garden, and charity lasts forever. So, only thing that can deliver us from death is fearing the Most High and keeping His commandments. But like it say right here, we should not be afraid of death if we know that we living right or have lived right to the best of our abilities. It says, why should we reject the good pleasure of the Most High? And it's a song that I think it was Twinkie Clark and somebody, Mr. Clean, sang called Accept What the Most High Allows. It says accept what God allows. And it's like it said, like if somebody just living at peace and they got everything going for them, then death is bitter to them. But sometimes death can be relief. If you going through it and things ain't looking up for real, not saying that nobody should take it upon themselves to make their own death, but if the Most High send them that angel for you, in His mercy, send that angel to come on and get you, like, come on, man, come on, let's lay down. Come on, let's get some rest. It's not necessarily a bad thing. So with that being said, like, and before that even, take care of yourself the best you can. You know, like some things we might not be able to get on top of right away, but the things that we can get on top of, as far as like to anybody who's able, getting some exercise, getting some steps in and stuff like that, even if you can't afford a gym membership or whatever, like man, they got apps on your phone. Whereas though you can get a cool little workout or even just get some steps in during the day. But if you're not in the condition where you can do those things, I'm sorry. I don't know if this mess with anybody else, but it's probably mess with me when I watch it back. And I'm sorry, I'm too far into the program and to start it over because I would, because I don't like stuff like that. I like even balance. What they say, just balance is good in the sight of the Most High. I like my strings to hang down the same left or whatever. When I was little, I used to want one arm on my mom. When I was riding in the car, I used to sit in the middle. I wanted one arm on my mom and one arm on my pop. Balance. I'm just a person that's like that. I'm real funny about stuff like that. But yeah, man, just take the best care of yourself you can. Eat the best you can. Like put the best foods into your body. And it's crazy because to eat healthy is so much more expensive than eating unhealthy. You can eat some crap, not literally crap, hopefully, but you can eat something that's terrible for you, and it'll be really cheap and reasonably priced and put on value meals and stuff like that. Whereas the stuff that's good for you, you gonna pay for it for real. They gonna get you for that. But hey, what somebody said, would you rather pay for it now, or would you rather pay for it later when you're in the hospital somewhere because of those choices? So let's just make the best choices we can on this side as possible, and to the best of our knowledge and ability. Because sometimes even when you think you're eating good, they be sneaking little bad stuff for you and stuff. Like I mean, I remember eating. I used to get this soup called chicken and corn chowder. And one day the spirit just led me to read the ingredients, and it said pork was in it. I was like, why would pork need to be in chicken and corn chowder? Like, what one of them ingredients called for pork? You feel me? But like I said, man, just let's do the best we can to take care of these temples that the Most High gave us because we only get one, you know, and let's do our best to take care of each other too and look out for each other. If it's something we can do to help somebody else do a little better, if we can be an what they call it now, accountability partner or something for somebody. Like I recently just started back on my working out, and I confess that I don't do it in the wintertime. I like my little extra blubber on me in the wintertime. I feel like it put shield me from the cold a little better. But now that it's getting a little warmer and it's too warm to hide underneath of these, ain't gonna be able to hide underneath of these too much longer, or coats and stuff like that. Shout out to my people's 713 Hebrew for the Black Jew apparel. You know, shout out to my brother. You holler at him if you want some. It's fresh gear. He got all different types of designs and stuff like that. This is the like the remember what's it called? Like this is reminiscent of the Poetic Justice logo. This particular one, but he got all different ones, all different colors and stuff like that. Just let the people know who we are for real. But yeah, man. What was I saying? Like, man, just accountability buddies, and we ain't getting too warm to hide up underneath of these for too much longer. So I went on back and committed back into the gym and committed back to working out. And there's like certain people that I told, so we like check on each other. And when I see one of them they post online that they made it that day, I give them a thumbs up or a round of applause or whatever. And I send them little stuff because I told everybody I wasn't going to put nothing else up until I see some results. So that's my little thing to push myself to go a little harder. But yeah, saying let's just encourage one another, do the best we can, and more importantly than anything else, because like the scriptures say, bodily exercise profiteth a little. That's what it say in the New Testament. But godliness with contentment is great gain. So really, let's be accountability partners for our brothers and sisters that's trying to do right, trying to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's real health, and that's what really will deliver from death, righteousness. So with that being said, that's it for now. Most High willing, we'll meet again soon. Shalom, shalom, Yah Baruch, and I'm out.